Good evening, guys. Went ahead and took a pretty sweet trade today that I did call out on the Discord, so we're gonna go ahead and go over that. Let's go ahead and play it out. This big reversal will make sense in a little bit. I actually haven't looked at the charts recently, so I'm glad to see that. It makes me happy. Let's go ahead and get to it. So my bias for the week, as you guys should know by now, is that I'm pretty bearish. We had our, what I would like to call accumulation. And that means this would have to be manipulation, but I saw manipulation of a fair value gap in here on ES that we also had another manipulation of on ES here today again, which then brought us lower. So I'm having a hard time truly understanding exactly what our weekly structure is here. Our weekly structure last week also got messed up due to FOMC, which I talked about a little bit yesterday, but I don't totally know why that is. But if we go ahead and go on to the lower time frames, we can determine that this makes no sense. This is like three, like I guess 2.5 consecutive quarters of just straight accumulation, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Like you can't even call this a reversal because we like reverse and then just I don't know what to do with this. So I came into the day. I had to run errands really early this morning, so I couldn't. I didn't think I was going to trade. So I ran my errands, and on my way back, I was sitting in the car looking at this right here. What comes into play right here that I was interested in was that we have strong SMTs. So on this low from the 1 minute, we can see right here, we have taken out Asia lows and previous day lows. And on MES, we have not taken out previous day lows or Asia lows. So we're SMTing there. And I guess that was my main bit. And I wanted to see that this low doesn't get taken out, but it did on both, which means I just treated it as a turtle soup. So I just treated that sweep of this low, which I didn't want to see get swept on MES, but it did, so it was whatever. So he's getting SMT, and then we get a turtle soup. We get this turtle soup, and what I was looking for, so like my mentor, Fearing, went ahead and entered like somewhere in here. I think it was on this candle at 1024 maybe, which makes sense because it's like within 7 minutes of the quarter, but I don't know. Like yes, I absolutely wanted to enter in this, but I didn't get a change in state of delivery until here because I didn't count this as a change in state of delivery because this wasn't a swing high. So I didn't know how to feel about that. And then I got no entry. So I waited for the change in state of delivery, and I was like, if you look at this is way too many points for me to enter onto. That's 140 points. That's way too much risk. That's like $280 of risk. I'm not going to risk that on a single micro at least. So I like kind of like watched it. I was like thinking about entering on an order block. And then once we got this high, I was like, I don't want to see a deeper retrace. I'm not interested. But what I saw up here is I don't think it was these Asia highs that we SMT'd off of, because I think we swept that here too. I guess we had already taken those out. Yeah, we had already taken those out. So what was important to me was this liquidity. So if we go ahead and go to the 1 hour real quick and we just determine what this liquidity was, the liquidity that we swept was from 10 a.m. yesterday and a fair value gap that we entered in on it was a midnight candle fair value gap. We now go to MNQ, in which you'll see is that we did not take out this liquidity. We took it out in this large retrace in the like right before market close, but that's irrelevant. This right here did not take out this 10 a.m. high from yesterday, and it did not fill this midnight gap, which in my way of trading is considered a completed SMT. So that's like a validated, completed, whatever you want to call it, SMT, which I was like, oh my God, that's fantastic. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Now, if we drop down to the 1 minute, now we look at our 4 hour PO3. We went ahead and opened at 10 right here. We went down, manipulated, went to the upside. I was like, okay, that's open, low, high, close. But then I was thinking about it and I was like, we could have just opened, kind of fucked around to the downside. Now we're going up, making this high. Then we're going to go down and make a low, and then we'll close. And that's exactly what we ended up doing. So I was like, that fits my narrative, in my opinion at least. So maybe that's what I can expect. And I think it was a fair thing to expect, because right here, what I'm looking at is a change save delivery. Now you may be asking, okay, why on earth would you consider that change save delivery? And I think that's a fair question. I do want to check and see if we had an SMT anywhere in here. This is like 11 to 1101. I want to see if that happened anywhere on, oh my, for the love of 11, yeah, no, there wasn't anything. I was hoping there was some kind of really low time frame SMT that we could call on. But no, I genuinely saw this and I was like, I saw this happening like right after the quarter. So like this is our quarter level. I was like, okay, this would be a perfect time for a reversal. But we couldn't use this because there was too much of a gap between here and this major high. So I was like, we're obviously going to come and take this out, which I said on Discord. And then we did. We came up and took it out. We make that SMT. We make the completed SMT. And then I see this little logo, man. I'm like, this right here is the reversal. This is the low. This is the CISD I'm gonna make. If we go on the 15-second real quick, that becomes even more clear, as you can just tell that this right here was our swing high. We went up, we consolidated a little, we made our swing low. This is our change save delivery. We moved up, and I entered on that right there. I wasn't looking at the 15-second. I could see it. It just made sense to me while watching it. I don't know why. I guess it's just I don't know, habit or experience. I guess I don't know. I was just looking at it. I could just tell. Okay, that's reversal. So I think I got entered in right here. So that means our entry was, because I tried entering right here, but then it took a second because I was entering like a second or two into here, which dropped me down to like right in here was the entry that I ended up getting. So we'll go ahead and make that green just for, or I guess we'll make it yellow. Orange is a good color. There we go. So that was my entry. It's too bright. Sorry, I'm having a hard time. There we go. That's better. Okay, so that was my entry, and then I just put stops right up here. The reason that I could do that was this is less than 50 points. That's only 44 points. So as soon as we came down and we took out this low right here, I immediately dropped my stops down to this high. And then once we made this low and we took that out, I immediately took my stops and put them right under break even. Now, the one thing that I didn't do that I'm very thankful that I did not do, because I did this yesterday, was I did not move my stop loss like into profit at all until I was like about to hit my TP, just out of, I don't know, I just did. So like I could have placed it right here after we went and took out this low, but I was like, no, I know that'll be dumb. I shouldn't do that. So I just kept it up here. I was kind of messing around with it up here, moving it back and forth. And then eventually I ended up putting it on this high once we were retracing in here. And then I was like, no, that's stupid. That's how I get stopped out. And so I put it back up here. But yeah, no, I carried through this whole thing and I was watching what a lot of this was. I think that a lot of this retracement was into that bearish breaker, which we had what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 retraces into on a lower time frame. And then we went to the downside. I didn't hold all the way to the sell side liquidity. I mean, yeah, that is some phenomenal sell side liquidity. But if you look, all I needed was just looking at at my funded, and I wanted to pass. So that's all I was interested in. So I took this and I literally just took it down to I just went over a little over 300 points. So I took it like around to there-ish. I think I targeted the low of this candle with this big wick. I thought about targeting the middle of the candle because it's a rejection block or whatever. And it looks like we actually did have a reaction off the 50% of that rejection block. So all would have worked out in the end. Don't really care. I made 300 points off that. So that was pretty sweet. So I was happy with that. That was my trade in general. That's how I looked at it. There's this guy I follow on X. You guys may be able to see. His name's Andrew, I think, and he made a post earlier tonight saying that tomorrow is going to be a like historical day of highs or taking out buy side liquidity or whatever. And I don't disagree. Now the reason that I don't disagree is a couple of things. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of these indicators for a second, just so, and our drawings. No, I guess I need some of these drawings. Is if we go ahead and look at the 1 hour here, and we focus on we focus on, we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Our structure right now is accumulation, manipulation, distribution. X is going to be our reversal, in my opinion. I don't think we're going to have a continuation to the downside. Yes, I want to see it come hit these lows, but I mean, with this retrace right here, that makes this look like manipulation, and smooth edges do not make reversals. Sharp edges do. These are all smooth edges here. We have a sharp edge here, and we have this huge retracement there. I have a strong feeling that we're going to go ahead and take this, and we're going to go ahead and come and take out these highs that I thought we were going to come out and take out this right here, but these are like relative equal highs right here. So we're looking at equal all-time highs, which are also relative equal highs. I think that's gonna be pretty strong. We may also have some SMTs at these lows down here. That's very possible. This low right here, I'm just trying to get an idea of where this low is. Maybe we should switch to a higher time frame. There we go. That's better. Okay, so yeah, we SMT'd. Wait, did we? No, that low barely didn't get taken out. All right, so we were really close to SMTing then. Whatever. We definitely SMT'd on MYM, but I have a hard time using this for proper judgment. So we got very close to SMTing with this low here. I think we count that as manipulation though. We took out this low in here. We took out this low over here. I take that pretty strongly. We also have news tomorrow, so maybe we can use some unmitigated lows or highs as targets or entries. We'll see. But yeah, that's really all I have. Indicators on WAP, as always. I'm making some updates to those. That silver bullet one I've been loving. That's really great. And constantly updating it to make sure it's up to par or above par, I suppose, above average. But yeah, no, that's all I got for you guys. Join the Discord. We caught 300 points. You guys don't want to miss out on that. All right, I'll see you on the next one. Have a good one, guys. Good night.